How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Another late one, but it is what it is. There's been a lot of talk today about 129 million spent, 104 million net spend, whatever it is, and the fact that it's not all on Kroenke right now. And there's a fair few good points there because what Arteta and Edu have managed to do with this transfer window is put it upon themselves, and now they are the main targets, and there is nothing really we can do about it now. And I say we being the fans that know and believe that Kroenke is the real owner, real problem. It's very difficult when you have a manager and a director of football making as many silly decisions as they've done over the last couple of years, let alone just this transfer window. So the focus does well and truly seem back on Arteta. Well, I say back on because of November, December last season. And that involves Edu as well. And here we are. There is a protest planned this Sunday. Like I said, a lot of the feeling now is that Arteta and Edu are behind the wasting of 100+ mil this summer. That seems to be the general consensus amongst the fans that are, upset with things. Obviously, we still, obviously have fans that believe and have a lot of faith in these signings. But in my honest opinion, these signings will prove not to be, it's not good enough, because there are a few in there that I do like and a few that are good enough in my opinion. I say are good enough, but can be good enough. But overall, when you look at the 129 to 134 mil, whatever it is, and when you look at that amount spent and the lack of real improvement in the side, it's a big problem. And people ask me, how can you say there's no real improvement? It's only been one game against Brentford. There's a lot of, these new players that we haven't seen yet. And I say it because going into the summer transfer window, right back and centre mid for me was the out and out priorities. There was a lot more, holes to plug, but in terms of out and out priorities, I think the central midfield area, in terms of the transition into the attack, and the right back area, in terms of getting someone that, either is similar to Tierney in a sense, or, you get an inverted one that does another job. Just do something other than what we've seen from the ones we've got over the years. But instead, both positions have pretty much remain untouched. Obviously, Lokonga's coming in the middle, but when Xhaka and Partey are fit, I assume that's going to be the partnership. So there's nothing really changed in terms of the transition. We just hope that Partey, takes on more of a role. We get some more consistent game time out of him. He doesn't pick up as many injuries as he did last season, and can really take on a bigger role at this football club. And that's what we have to hope on now in the middle. Or, we hope that Lokonga comes in and, kicks on, develops well, and takes a lead role in the midfield. But at the same time, I haven't seen much of Lokonga yet. I'm not too sure, what Lokonga and Partey would look like next to each other. I'm not too sure who does what job in that partnership in the middle. But I guess in terms of what I'd like to see, that is something I'd like to see, because it's the unknown. But again, when we talk about the transfer window, we didn't address the main priorities. That's my opinion on it. I do want to go through the chat as well. Callum in there early saying, loving these late streams, Turkish. No worries, my guy. Mix it up sometimes 1 in the afternoon, sometimes 10 in the evening. Over here, that is. AT says, I've lost the love in football, Turkish. Everything around our club is so shitty right now, man. There's literally nothing positive to say. It will get worse come Sunday. And funnily enough, I will say there is a positive, and that is the young players. But if we don't treat the club right and move in the right direction quickly, those young players and that positive, dims, because they will, ask questions themselves. They'll ask the same questions the fans are asking now and have been asking for the last 10 years. Well, really 5 when you think of a louder voice rather than the vast minority. But yeah, I get you regarding the love of football and whatnot. I completely understand it. Isco says, big up Turkish. If Leno has a great season and extends his contract, then will Ramsdale ever be number one? The transfer doesn't make sense. Well, listen, I'm going to talk about it all, and I'm going to, throw something out there to you guys. And that this is a bit later on in the video. And that's, if you had 129 million to spend, like the title said, what would you have done with it? And I'm going to go through what I'd potentially do with it. I haven't wrote down any notes. I haven't planned anything. I'm just going to do it off the top of my head. And even off the top of my head, I think I can think of a better window that would, listen, it's hard to say better window when you don't know the outcome. We don't know the outcome of the window we've just had, and we don't know the outcome of the window we might individually have wanted. But in terms of more excitement and more hope going into a season, I think off the top of my head and off the top of a lot of our heads, with 130 million to spend, we'd know how to spend it well or better. But Kareem here says, new right back, centre mid, striker, manager, owner, and director of football needed. At the bare minimum, Kareem, at the bare minimum. You know this already. To be honest, I'd flip the order around and then maybe put owner in front of the director of football, right at the top of the ladder, because as soon as he goes, the rest should fall. Hoping that the next owner is ambitious. Brian says, I don't think I've seen a window where a club spends 100 million plus and has a 2 out of 10 window. Remember the deadwood we had to sell in order to buy. Push has come to shove, it seemed, in that department, Do you think it's the real... I'll throw one back to you, Brian. Do you think it's the realization that there's no value in the deadwood that they thought they had, well, not that they thought, but maybe they had to sell in order to, gain funds from within? Obviously, right now, there's a lot of Kroenke's finally invested, but I won't say he hasn't invested. What I will say is it hasn't come out yet how we've come about these funds. Now, on one hand, it might come out that Kroenke has invested something. That's all good and well. We'll see if that does come out and we can discuss it then. It might come out that he hasn't, or it might come out that he has off the back of a loan that's attributed to the club. And, there's technicalities involved in all scenarios. So we will talk about it when we do know. But at this, moment in time, we don't know whether this is the club's own, little war chest. I'm hearing a lot of war chest talk. Listen, in the current market, 130 mil is not a war chest. Let's be honest. You're not going to war with the top boys with 130 mil. We've missed that. We've missed that one in terms of that being a war chest. That was about 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Right now, 130 mil, it's looking like one top quality player for the big boys. So all the war chest talk is a bit too much for me. But, it is money. It is money. And that's why I'm here to talk about that. And, the fact that Arteta is now with Edu the main targets in terms of if it doesn't go well now, having spent 130 mil, I think, the majority lean to Arteta and Edu. And again, I'm not saying that's wrong, because what they have done with what they have is poor. It's embarrassing, really. But we're yet to find out. Ben, my guy, hope you're good, my guy. Family, kids, all of that. You can't spend 80 million on White and Ramsdale. Who at Arsenal is responsible for this? You know what it reminds me of, my guy, and everyone out there? It reminds me of, do you remember when Liverpool used to just buy like Stuart Downing and Charlie Adam and all of these guys, and the odd gem here and there, but overall their windows were lacking sense, and it was quite a big outlay on risky names, to say the least. This transfer window is reminding me a lot of that. It reminds me a lot of that. Ramsdale. Okay, we're going to get into all of them individually anyway. We're going to get into them. We have another super chat here. Love for the love, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't already. 600 of you live, only 10 minutes in. Love for the love. Come on. This is why we bang on the same drum. Kroenke out. Even when we spent the money, the people spending it are novices and make terrible decisions. And that is the reality. But try telling some fans that see, the 130 million spent as a time to give them a chance to see what happens next. Or tell it to the fans that are fed up and finally see 100 and something mil spent and now put it firmly on Arteta and Edu. I know what you're saying, and a lot of us probably do agree with you, and that is the reality. But right now, what Arteta and Edu have done, this transfer window so far, the attention is well and truly on them. And with Chelsea and Man City around the corner, it's only going to get greater, this attention. So it's a big problem. But you're right, because at the end of the day, if there was listen, at the beginning of the transfer window, there was a lot of talk about 150 mil, 250 mil, all of that. Remember, it was 250 mil, I believe. That was the war chest talk. That's more of a war chest. 250 mil, yeah, I can see you're going for something there. 150 mil in this market, especially when you're taking into account, 6, 7 players. You divide that up, it's not really adequate enough, in my honest opinion. But it is, it is what it is. We're just going to have to see, I guess. That's what we have to do as fans. We can't really do much. We can protest, speak, and all of that. But in all honesty, it happens when it happens. Let's see what the people are saying. It's sad, man. It's actually mad. But it is what it is. Arsenal run like just eat a mess. I don't know. Oh, comparing it. Okay, cool. So listen. It's not all bad. So let's go into it. If we take this transfer window, yeah, we got Ben White in. What was that? 50 mil. Cool. What was Lokonga? 17.5 mil. Something like that, Lokonga. We'll put that in there. Tavares was 8 mil, I believe. So we'll just chuck that in there as well. Odegaard, 34 mil. Yeah, 34 mil. Cool. We'll put that in there as well. And let's say Ramsdale. Let's just put him there because it does seem like he's over the line, and it does seem like that's included in the figures. Cool. So roughly whatever it is, listen, some people are saying this, some people are saying that. Let me put my charger on before this thing dies. There we go. Should be back on. Cool. We've got a super chat here as well. Let me just get that in before I miss out on it. Tinfo, Arsenal. Hey, Turkish. It's mind-boggling. To think if Arteta sets his arrogance aside, plays to leave for one match, and we could potentially save 50 mil. Shocking business. That's what I'm about to get into, because I'm going to ask you guys, including you, Tinfo, get it in as well. What would you have done with this money? I should be able to all fit in one comment. What would you have done with 129 mil this summer? So far, we've kind of seen the market. We've seen who's gone for what. We've kind of seen who's been touted for what, or rumored to be available for what. So we can kind of make a semi-informed decision on what we would have done this summer. But it is mind-boggling, because in terms of what I'm going to get into on my side, Saliba would have made sense, because it is the unknown, similar to Ben White being the unknown. And it would have saved a hell of a lot of money for another position we badly need, because there is still a couple positions we badly need. It's mad. But yeah, let me just see what the people are saying, because we've got another one in here as well. Yeah, trust me. Imagine, I nearly left it again, but had to come back. To answer your question, you asked me, we know the 120 million loan he received, but I find it baffling. Chelsea can sell guys who haven't even played for them. They got the right people, and they tout, in the right way. More often than not, the loans are, to decent leagues where they're going to make a little name for themselves, or they're going to, pick up some consistency, especially if they're signing for Chelsea in the first place. If you're signing for Chelsea as a youngster, you must have in that period anyway. I'm not too sure if they've changed it up, but there was a period where there was trying to take every good youngster in world football, and they got a lot of them. Send them out on loan a few times. They look decent in other leagues. Sell on value appears. That sell on, money they get goes to strengthen the first 11. Was it around the time Salah and De Bruyne were let go, they bought Costa and Fabregas, if I'm not mistaken? Maybe not, but you get my drift in terms of how their model runs. And They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So where are we? So is that all the signings? Ben White, Lokonga, Tavares, Odegaard, Ramsdale. 5 in. Am I missing anyone? No, I'm not missing anyone. That's cool. So what? 50, 17.5, 67.5 plus 8, 75.5, 34, 79.5, 100, 130. That's just cool. 130. Cool. So out of those signings, yeah, the first question out there, out of those signings, who would you have signed if it was your decision this summer? Is there any names out of those 5 at that price that you would have signed this summer? That's the first thing I think, because that's the first thing I asked myself. Who would I have signed out of these lot, and at what price would I have signed them? Because there's obviously players in there that I'm interested in, but at the price we got them, it's a bit, more risky. Let me see what the people are saying. Neil's in there early. Neil, hold that for a second, and we're going to get back to the full outlay. Maybe Lokonga, Sambi, Odegaard. My guy, hope you're good. Odegaard, Lokonga, none, 0, none, Lokonga, Odegaard. So, yeah, you lot are pretty much along the same lines as me. I think the first person I wrote down was Odegaard, and it was the only person until the end. And then I worked out player sales too, and then Lokonga made sense. And again, we'll get into why there. So let's just say out of the pack, I'm picking Odegaard, and what was it, 34 mil? That's good. That's a good piece of business, and that's a good piece of business. I think we got him at a good price. We got him at a good age. We've got him at a long-term contract, taking him into his prime. We should be happy about that. Fred's in there early as well. Listen, people, we'll get in a bit. We're getting in a bit so we can compare and all that. But Fred says Basuma 35, Mikhail at 25. Mikhail, I don't know how to say the name. Odegaard 30, Lautaro 70, 160, minus Willock 135. That's fair. That works out. The only thing is with Martinez, I actually think we didn't really have a chance in signing him. I think as soon as the Lukaku rumors were that strengthened with Chelsea, Martinez did commit himself to Inter, and then he recommitted himself again a few days later. So I don't think Martinez would have been as available as we once thought this window. 30 million is calm. Yeah, I think the price we got Odegaard at is calm. So let's just say we would keep Odegaard. And you know what? We might just get into the Lokonga thing as well. So Odegaard there, 30 mil, 34 mil. Let me just put that. He remains. Out of the players we've signed, he remains. Who messaged me there? Let me see. Okay, cool. Sorry, what's that? Oh yeah, big up Lee Judge's TV. I was just watching that now. He was on with Kevin Campbell and Dan. So if you haven't already, go over and subscribe to Lee Judge's TV. A lot of good content's already come out over there. So, I'm expecting a lot more good content to come. So where was we? What's that? Let me see quickly. Is not the one at right back. Oh, you are comparing. Big up Soph in the building. Guna Gossip TV. Chris says, big up Turkish. Great stream as always. Odegaard will prove to be a good signing. I believe so as well. Literally before coming into this room to do a video, I was literally arguing with my friend and saying, Odegaard's a good buy. I know we're in a mess. I know we're clouded in, we're clouded right now, to say the least. We've got to say that is a good signing. Big up Turkish, my guy. Hope all is well. I would have signed Odegaard and Lokonga, but cannot make sense of the Ramsdale signing. Goalkeeping advisor must be sacked. Nearly 1,000 in the chat, only 260 likes. Come on, hit the like button, people. There is over 1,000 here now. So yeah, 500 likes. Let's get it up there. That's 1 in 2. Surely that's simple. So Odegaard, cool. And Lokonga, I'm gonna add Lokonga too. The reason I add Lokonga is because I just eliminate that 17.5 mil by selling Granit Xhaka. I'll take the 15 mil. So let me just add Xhaka to that, because that's what I would have done this summer. I would have taken that 15 mil. Calm. That's Lokonga done. And the reason I say that is because I bring in Basuma as well. Unless, what would Basuma really have been worth this transfer window? 40, 45 mil? 40 mil? You probably could have picked him up for 40 mil. Let me know what you think we could have got Basuma for. Neil says, keep Saliba, Sabitzer 15, Odegaard 30, Sam Johnston 15, Max Aarons 25, Tavares 7, Lokonga 18, Edward 16. What, Edward 16 mil? Swear. And how much is that? 126 mil, still less than the 129 and 2 players extra. Neil's done his homework. Someone might need to apply for a role at Arsenal or something. That's actually a pretty strong list. I can't lie. Most of the names there was on my list. Melvin here says, I would have done Samar, 18 million. No brainer. Dumfries, what was that? What'd you put? 11 mil? Yeah, well, 11 mil, 12.5 mil was still cheap. Daka, 23 mil. Ben White, 50 mil. Odegaard, 30. Ryan Bertrand, 3. Areola loan, 130 mil. Again, fair. Obviously, on the spot, I'm not checking the maths here, but I'm hoping everyone out there is doing some good maths and we're keeping it within the budget. That is a strong one too, and you're the first person to say Ben White. So I guess you have faith in Ben White and you believe he will become a good player, like we all do. To be honest, we all hope he becomes a good player. You've Basuma 50 mil, Madison 60 mil, Max Aarons 25. So just a free, but I get it because that's kind of what I'm feeling as well. Having seen the number and the names that we've signed in that 135 mil, it kind of makes me feel like we kind of went the way of strengthening the outer layer before we strengthened the core, which seems a bit silly to me. But, I guess if we do what you're saying here in terms of the 135 and using it on those 3 players, then Kolasinac remains our left back or backup left back potentially if Tierney gets injured. So there's still a good few problems out there. But again, if you ask me, would I take what you said here or what we've done? I'm taking what you said all day, every day. Blue says, yo, Turkish, if Arsenal go on to win the league this year, would you shave off your beard? Love the content, by the way. I'll shave my beard if Arsenal win the league. And I don't put my neck on the line for things like this. But when you just know something, you know something. So it's not a thing. So where was we? So what have I done? Odegaard 34, Lokonga 17.5 mil. Basically cancelled that by Xhaka, but we'll get into that slowly. Reece says Anana 6 mil. I don't know if we could have picked him up for that cheap, but yeah, it was rumored to be around 8 mil, let's say. So either or, backup goalkeeper. So what are you saying? You would have sold Leno this summer then, for sure? Because just Woodman 15 mil, Emerson 25 mil, Tavares 10 mil, Basuma 35, 20 mil, Awar, Odegaard 30, another strong one. Another strong one. No worries, my guy. No worries at all. I'm safe, man. I'm safe. Big up Mo. Trust me. It is what it is. This is what's worrying about it now. And this is why Arteta and Edu have put a lot of pressure on themselves, direction their way, because they've had money that they could have spent better and they haven't. They actually, all of these suggestions so far are better than the window we've currently had. So that's a big, big problem, because it's all good. We know there's a bigger problem than Arteta and Edu. We know this, yeah? But some of these signings will hold back the next manager too. So how many are we gonna, how many are we gonna go through? How many are gonna hold us back? Because we've just, over the last year, we've been getting rid of a batch that we've struggled to get rid of for a long time. And we've got rid of them literally out the back door, because it's not like we've got any real value for them. But players we've been trying to get rid of for a little while, we're managing to get rid of them this past 12 months. In those 12 months, we pick up a player in Willian who we can't get rid of, so we're stuck with him for another 3 years or 2 years now, however long he's got left. And other players that, in my honest opinion, we will be lumped with come the end of their contract. Leno's going into the last 2 years now. We're buying Ramsdale, who's more expensive than Martinez, who we sold last year, who's better than him. more expensive than Leno, who's currently our keeper. So all signs point to Leno leaving at some point in the next 12 months, whether it be January or the end of next season, because, 2 years left of the deal, a lot of rumors around his name. It doesn't seem like he can play out the back how first Emery wanted and second how Arteta seems to want. And in all honesty, if any future managers want a goalkeeper to play out the back, he doesn't seem like the one anyway. That bid is safe. I know it is, man. I know it is. Nothing makes sense, says Josh. Nothing makes sense. Bad signings are worse than no signings. We will have bad performances for 4.5 years. And when you tie yourself into some of these deals, it also adds, a shadow of doubt over some of the young players' future, because you're tying up experienced players that, are not really experienced in the right way, or are not showing their experience in the right way, around young players that are seeking, experienced players around to kind of, motivate, lead, put an arm around, protect, and all of that. It's not the best platform. And then you tie them to a long contract on big wages, and it becomes a big problem. Gossip TV is asking, how long do you think Arteta will be given? So it's hard to say, It's hard to say because November, December happened, and I can't believe it happened and nothing changed. Well, I say I can't believe, I can believe, because, when what I believe is the reason for Arteta and Edu being here is because the Kroenkes, roll of the dice this time was to put 2 ex-players in prominent positions and hope, we trust the process blindly. So November and December happened. I can't believe a manager got through that, but I can believe it with this ownership. So even asking me now, how much time will he be given? He's already on borrowed time for a lot of fans. He already should have gone for a lot of fans. He shouldn't have been appointed, in the opinion of a lot of fans. How long will he be given? I think if you go into the international break with less than, I don't even know. If you go, listen, we're going into the international break with 3 points or less. Let's be honest here. And that's even me looking at it in the most brightest of ways. 1 win out of the next 2 against Chelsea and City. I think, how can that not be it? How can you, go into the first international break after the first 3 games of the season, going into your second full season and have 0, 1, 2, 1 or 2 points in the first 3 games? It doesn't bode well after spending 130 million and being the biggest spenders in the country. It doesn't bode well. But again, we went through November and December and nothing happened. Arguably, that was worse than going into this international break only 3 games into the season with 0, 1 or 2 points. Nothing happened. And I think, again, that highlights what the true problem is. I don't think the Kroenkes, and Vinay and all that let Arteta and Edu remain in their roles through that November-December period because they truly believe in them. I believe it's because there is no next plan. We saw a real lack of planning after Arsene Wenger, in my opinion. Definitely after Unai Emery. The length of time between appointing, Arteta and sacking Emery, it was kind of silly to think we didn't really have the next one in line. So I believe there's not another plan. There's not. The next plan was Super League, the income, and then maybe then we spend like, big boys, because we're protected in a Super League with the best teams in the world, and, the guaranteed income is the guaranteed income. But that's not to be anymore. So it's all mad. Do I think that COVID case is real with Oba and Laka? A lot of people straight away said, nah. I do believe it's real. I think they can't tell us they had COVID and lie about it. I don't see them doing that, in my honest opinion. But who knows? Who knows? Obviously, it's funny that they didn't announce it straight away. That one I don't get. I get on the day they was feeling ill, so they might not have been tested and then got tested the next day. So that maybe explains they're ill. That's all I can say from Arteta. Even though the way he said they're ill, that's all I can say. We're still a bit fishy. We're still a bit like, what do you mean? That's all you can say. It led to a lot of fans questioning, whether Oba and Laka are happy, what's happened, and a lot of rumors and nonsense over the last few days that in reality seems to be for nothing, you know. But at the same time, we're hearing a lot of rumors that Lacazette's nearly on the way out. But who knows? Should have been called off. I said that as well. I said, obviously, if Willian and Runnison as well, COVID, it must be reported to the health department. Well, if it's Runnison and, I don't know, that's 4 players from, I guess, the first team squad that have got COVID and first game of the season. You know how much that means to the Premier League and TV rights and all of that. And, the numbers it would have produced, fans back in, full stadium, all of that. I don't think, even 4 COVID cases could stop the commercial powerhouses. Let's be honest here. They kind of put, well, not kind of, money comes before, health and all of that. Let's be honest. And that seems like the decision that was made, because I feel like it's only fair if it is something like that. And teams in the past year and a half have had similar cases where games have been called off because numerous people have been infected. I don't know. The recruitment team there's a lot of people that need to leave. See you on Sunday. Hope you and the family are good. All good, man. All good. Man said, I love how Kevin is like, what's going on with Oba and Laka when all he has to do is go into his contact list and push cool? Man said, like, come on, bro, help us fans out. What's this? Turkish, what would you rather, Super League happen and Arsenal make marquee signings, or what it is now? Listen, I've always said the idea of a Super League and the idea of having a league with the top teams in Europe is a great idea. That's development. It's moving forward. It's the way they did it and the protection that really sickened me and a lot of fans, definitely as Arsenal fans as well. Because when you look at what Kroenke has done to this club and the lack of care and cash injection and direction, to all of a sudden come out with, we're going into this tournament with the world's best teams, whilst we dropped away over the years from the world's best teams. It was kind of arrogance, and it was kind of, obvious it was all money motivated from our point of view. Maybe Chelsea and City and them lot can argue differently because they're very much ambitious in terms of winning stuff. But us, we knew why Kroenke was part of this. Similar to United and similar to FSG as well. We know that, these owners, they're very different to Chelsea and Man City's. So a Super League without that protection, a league that you can be relegated in, and a league that involves every team and there's divisions to it, and you can go up, you can go down. The money is shared. You know what? I don't know what's done with the money or how it's shared. Obviously, there'd be some discrepancies with that, depending on how big the club is, I guess. But overall, it needed to be a lot fairer than the way it came in. That's the bottom line. If it comes to be a lot more fairer in the next 2 years and we still have Kroenke, it doesn't mean Kroenke is not a problem. He would still be a problem, even if the Super League becomes an attractive proposition to us lot. Because he's still seeking ways to gain financially. Let's be honest, if it is the loan, it is the loan. But the loan might be put against the club anyway, so it's our debt regardless. Yes, he paid off our debt last summer, but when you pay off a debt, it's open to be used to take out money again. And if he's done that, cool, we needed the money. Maybe that was a shrewd move. We needed the money, but you've given it to people and you've hired people that have essentially, or in my opinion, have essentially not done the right things with it. So we're going to go back to square one again in a couple of years, or every year, really. Let's be honest. Josh says we need big numbers. Big up. If there's a protest planned, why would there be exceptions? Protesting against manager, director, board, owner, get them all out. I agree. Be at the protest early. A lot of people in here saying they're going to be at the protest. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Like I said, the narrative has swayed a little bit today due to a couple signings, but I think the best interest of the club would be for Kroenke to be pushed out or to do something, you know. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Jem, my guy, I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't complain. I see man said troops. I don't see troops. Where is he? Am I going mad? Oh, Arteta out, simple thing. I couldn't see it because there's bare text everywhere, and then my man just wrote a quick one. My guy, I hope you're good, man. I hope you're good, my guy. And fam, you said you're back for the Chelsea, or someone said you're back for the Chelsea game. Are you there? Yeah, are you there on Sunday? We'll definitely link up. Come on, bro. Come on, we'll definitely link up, man. My guy, it's been a little while, but nothing's changed, my bro. As you can see, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. How long you been over there? This the whole of last season and one game of this one, and here we are, same shit, different day, different month, different year. Let me see what Ben's saying. I'm not being biased, but if we can buy players, I think we can finish top 6 again or win Europa League. Everyone is counting us out. 30 mil for Ramsdale. He has one of the worst save percentages. And that's funny because a lot of people saying he's a good shot stopper. I don't know, man. I don't watch Bournemouth and Sheffield United and these teams over the years to know what Ramsdale's been doing. I'll be honest. I don't claim to watch these men and watch every league in the world and know every player in the world. What I do know is Ramsdale hasn't been, covered in glory over the years, that's for sure. Because outside looking in, you can see that. Troop saying joke man club. From a long time ago, my bro. From a long time ago now. It's mad to think how long it's been. It's actually mad to think how long this team and this club have been moving in this way. It's just we're literally where, we should be for a club moving in this way with this owner. The other years, Wenger did a lot to protect what was going on until he couldn't anymore, and we dropped out of the top 4 with Wenger. He protected it for a long time. Come on, my guy, free the wave. When Max comes out, Troops needs to organise that link up over his sides. 2006, he said. 2006. Man says send Troops the link. If Troops is about, he can message me, but obviously it's a late one, so I don't know where he is right now. It's calm. It's calm. Love from South Africa. You think if Wenger spent what Mikel spent, we will be in the league race? Only reason they're spending is to keep us silent. I support the protest. Wish I could be there. Swear down. Didn't pay for my season ticket. I'm done. A lot of people feeling like that. Chris was at the office today, obviously big Chris Hudson. And even he said a lot of his friends who's been going for time, years before I was born, have given up. I've said, it is what it is now. COVID has shown them they can just watch it at home and enjoy the mess from afar. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Anyway, what time is it, man? 10:40. It's getting on a bit. It's getting on a bit. Where was we with this transfer window business? Basuma, let's just say 45 mil. Basuma, Odegaard, Lokonga. That would have been roughly 97.5 mil, 96.5 mil. You've even got some change left over. You throw 25, 30 mil at Max Aaron's. Much more exciting already. Much more exciting already. The biggest thing I don't get about this Ramsdale one is instead of 24 on Ramsdale, you could have loaned Areola earlier in the window, or you could have given Ryan a 1 year or a 2 year deal, or you could have just gone out and got a backup keeper on loan for a season, whatever. We haven't got Europe. It is what it is. Why didn't we spend the money we spent on Ramsdale, 24 mil on Max Aaron's? I'm sure that same deal gets you Max Aarons, 24 plus 6 mil. 24 plus 6 mil gets you Max Aarons. Surely. He's English, he's homegrown. He feels that same quota that apparently Ramsdale's feeling, and that's what we're chasing. He also improves the first team, or adds hope to the first team at the bare minimum. But instead, we've gone and spent 24 mil on a backup keeper with no European football and 2 cup competitions throughout the whole of the season. Where in reality, if you get through every round, how many games you really playing in the League Cup, second, third, let's say 5 games in the League Cup if you win it, and about 6 in the FA Cup, 10, 11 games, 24 mil plus 6 mil if he becomes number 1. What kind of a clause is that anyway? Troop said, preach. I see you, my guy. It's stress, man. It's stress. We're so starving for a 10, says Diaz. We see Odegaard like he's Zidane. Also, do you think we've gone back to there being a big 4 and not a 6? That's a good question, you know. With the Odegaard thing, I get it. Like I said before I got in here, I was just not arguing, but debating with a friend whether it was a good sign. And he's very much, it's funny for me to say, but very much on a downer about it all and saying, you know, who the fuck is Odegaard? And, you know, he doesn't think he's going to kick us onto the next level. And nor do I. I don't think one man does kick us onto the next level, especially where we are right now. But I'd agree that he's a good player. He's a good player that improves the side. He adds quality. He adds some leadership in there. And he's a good option to have in a position where we've lacked in recent years. So I get it. You get some people that's gone too far this way with it and acting like he's the next coming of Zidane. And you got some people too far this way with it, acting like he's the next coming of, like, I don't know, name an attacking flop for us. Bentner or something. Like he's a good player. So we'd have to accept that. Is it a big 4, not a big 6? That's the good question. Swear down, Joe, I missed the super chat. Let me see if I can find it. It's a good question because it's probably true. It feels like it's more of a big 4 at the moment, but at the same time, I think it's just circumstance. I think when you look at Liverpool, I don't think their ownership is to be given credit for being in the big 4 or the big 6, however you see it right now. I just feel like they was made, you know, the right decisions at the right time. Usman says marquee signing before transfer deadline day. Marquee signing. Even when I think about who it could be, it has to be a right back, a centre mid, or a striker. It's not going to be a centre mid because Xhaka's got a new contract, so it'd have to be one of the others. At least 8 English homegrown is needed to register for what? You see it? You mean for Premier League? I think it's 8. Regardless, you know, Aarons does that. The same 24 mil you spend on Ramsdale and the same homegrown, you know, aspect you get from Ramsdale, you get from Max Aarons. The only difference is one goes straight into the first team and gives us some hope, and the other one goes straight onto the bench and we see what happens. It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. Clubs moving dead, says the natural. It is what it is. Areola, I mentioned him already, but that was a name earlier on in the window when I saw West Ham get him. It just didn't make sense. It like sort out the Leno situation. Like find out what he wants to do with 2 years left. Do you want to stay here? Do you want to sign? Do you want to go? Like just let us know because it's not that deep. Like you've done all right for us. It's been a bad time for us. Like we haven't really got any good memories with you. If you want to go, we can arrange that. Yeah, because there's still value in Leno. Let's be honest. We got him for around 19, 20. I'm sure we could get around that for him. Then again, we sell Martinez for 17 mil. So who am I to think that this club can do things smartly? Sometimes you lose yourself and forget who you're dealing with here. But, you know, quickly you have to just rein it back in and remember. Sam says we have to sell before buying another right back. Unable to sell, therefore unable to buy. Well, it depends what you class unable to sell as. We could have got 15 mil for Granit Xhaka or 12 plus 3 mil. I would have taken it. I know a lot of people would have taken it. But we didn't take it. Instead, There you go, mate. Here's a little pay rise. Here's a new contract. There we are. No, I don't think there's 13,000 unsold tickets, Mark. I think it's less than that. But you might be right. You might be right. And thanks for the late night. No worries, my guy. Obviously, Big Six is back tomorrow, 10 p.m. So it'll be me and the regular lads for that show. If you don't know, get to know. 10 p.m. Mondays, 10 p.m. Fridays. Me and the rest of the, Big Six fans, as they like to say. It wasn't me that named it. Well, it was me that named the show the Big Six, but it wasn't me that named the biggest six side the Big Six. It is what it is. So people don't take offense, because I get a lot of Leicester fans vexed with me. I get even some West Ham last season were trying to get vexed, saying, hey, when can we get in there? It's not top six, it's Big Six. So regardless of finishing 8th 2 years in a row, we're still big. We're hanging in there. So we're still going to be about. Low budget's asking, Troops, are you going live tonight? Let the people know. If you're going live, there's 1,500 people here. I'll send them your way after this. Not that you need it anyway. What am I saying? You should be going live before me, my guy. Wait, hold on. What day is it? Thursday. Are you in it? You're back in London, yeah? You must be back in London if you're coming to the Chelsea game. Saying that, you know what? I have to message you, to be honest. If you're back in London, you know what? I'm not driving now as well, because I'm not driving. It's all mad. It's all mad, but we'll sort something out. I'm going to shout you. Yeah, he's back in London. Oh, he was live yesterday. Okay, say nothing. Cool. That's all cool. Yeah. You've seen a couple Big Six shows popping up on YouTube. Yeah. Put them in the comments. Show me which ones you've been seeing. So slowly but surely I can just shoot them all down, Car. You know what it is already, man. I've seen a couple myself already. I dealt with a few last season. Gonna have to deal with a few this season. But in all honesty, our thing is so strong now in terms of the Big Six, and me, Matisse, Grizz, and Saeed, and Tobes, and Scarfuggery now. Our thing is so strong that I don't even think people can come and do Big Six and even touch that show right now. What's EGTV? EGTV has a Big Six. I don't know what EGTV is, but I'll search that afterwards. But like I said, yeah, I don't think people are touching it. Like, it's not the name is nice. The name's definitely nice, but it's not the name that really does it. I've had top six and Big Six for the last few years. I've been doing the show for the last few years, from a studio set to the streamed one during COVID, which we're going to stick with. I've had it for a little while. What made this one so, liked and followed is because it's the right mix. It's the right mix of people. It's the right mix of voices. It's the right mix of banter. It's the right mix of knowledge. I think demographic even. A lot of people turn to me and say, you're covering different nationalities there. Obviously not all. It's only six people, but it's good to see, a football debate with different nationalities. And to me, it's just normal. I'm just like, what? Man does this every day, every night. But out there, to a lot of other people, it seems to be a thing. Same way with, adding Scarfuggery on board this season. People can get started with their own Big Six shows and top six shows and copy plagiarized ideas and whatnot. We've kicked on to another level this season. So we got the head start on that one. And if anyone's ever come close, that's when I'll start shooting down. So maybe I'll just leave them to it until they build a little name and then start shooting down. But yeah, I swear EGTV is a girl. Imagine that's that. Yeah, let me not even. Because let me not even. First 11 as well. Yeah, apparently I saw that one last Wednesday. But apparently they're changing their name, so we'll see. We'll see this week, unless they done one yesterday with the same name. If that's the case, then they haven't. Ali says the Big Six is lit. We'll hit 100K live by the end of the season. 100K live is mad, Ali. It'll reach maybe 100K views on one show, but 100K live. You must think I'm BT Sport or something. It's not doing those numbers over here yet. But 100K for a show would be nice. I don't think I've reached 100K for a video on my channel. Obviously, I don't do watch-alongs and stuff like that. So, that obviously helps with getting a lot of views. But I don't think I've reached 100k on this channel, so it'll be good for Big Six to do that. Only bad thing is we can't even put it on Tobes these days. Ali, I'm struggling. I'm telling you, I'm struggling. I thought at least this season, the one team I can count on to be, worse or as bad as Tottenham, and they started the season with a 1-0 win at Man City. It's not a good start for us. It's not a good start. I managed to divert their attention to Big Steve on the first one. Big up Scarfuggery for that assist. But if it continues, I don't know who I'm going to be leaning on, because the limelight's going to be on me every bloody show. Because right now we've got Chelsea next, peak. Man City after that, peak. Hopefully Arsenal pull one out the bag so I can get a nice quick Scarfuggery edit, one of them pro Arsenal ones, and that's probably it for the season. Let's be honest, because we don't get many of those. Yeah, I've hit 5k viewers on Big Six. I've hit 5k viewers on Big Six, so the levels for that one's mad. But yeah, like I said, people can try, but they won't be able, in the words of D-Double. Come on, it's what it's about. KG said it is what it's about. I had a female in my preview earlier, already had some good messages from the female audience about it. Yeah, and it shocks me, because it's like, I get what you're saying. It's normal to us to talk football amongst different demographics, different ages, different male, female. It's normal. So when it's not just one person, when some people started messaging me about the demographic on Big Six and how there was even one message that was talking about how it helped them view things a bit differently and all of that stuff. And I don't know about all of that. All I know is when we talk about football, we get along. WhatsApp, when we link up, we get along. When we do the shows, we get along. It's always good energy. It's always good vibes. The thing is built on respect, and it's built on trust and honesty. So as much as some people want to try out there to try and take members of the Big Six and offer them some money and ask them how much it would take for them to leave the Big Six, as much as that has happened in the past few months, and I do know about it, it hasn't worked, has it? So big up the people trying to copy the name. Big up the people trying to break up the team. It can't happen when it's all built on honesty and being real and keeping it 100 all the time. It's hard to really break. So make sure you're back here if you haven't seen it. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. It's just like a football chat with the close man, them top show. Come on, my bro, you know this. And I know there's people in here that know what it's like. I know there's people in here that knows what it's like. The rude gentleman sounding like, one of those brethren that are like, hey, who's doing that? Show me who it is and I'll sort them out. People, listen, this industry ain't real. It's probably happening left, right, and center. All I do know is, it's happened with Big Six. Trust me, family thing. That's what the lads like to call it, and that's what it is. Spurs lost. Swear down, they lost in this Conference League qualifying. What was it? I know it was 1-0 at half time. Did they really go out there and lose to Pacos del Ferreira or something? Sparky said, where's the Red Bull? Bro, I can't lie. 11 p.m. I'll have this glass of water. I might have to bill it after this stream. I might have to bill it. Who am I kidding? It's all mad. When I used to work for Roma, I couldn't say them things there. But now it's all a bit different. I can go and bill it after I'm done. Come on, Joshua. Of course, I know your feelings, my guy. 100%. Super. I was about to call it a night. Well, actually, 5 more minutes to an hour. We'll call it an hour. Heart to Heart says, in the position we are in, we have to overpay for players. 129 million, and I see nothing to get excited about. I'm a massive Kroenke out, but Edu and Arteta are worrying me with the resources. Big up you, Turkish. Love for the super chat. Love for the, getting your thoughts in. And what do I think of that? That's why I'm here. 129 million spent, and we don't look any better. And that's not on Stan Kroenke for once. More often than not, I find a way to bring it back to him, because more often than not, there is a way back to him, and it is the true cause. This time round, it's, regardless of whether it's his own money that's been put in or whether he's yet again allowed the club to spend his own money. Regardless of that for a sec, which we'll find out in the future, it's been misspent. And it's all good and well for people to remain positive and say, it's one game and you don't know yet and this and that. But come on, like I know football to a certain extent. I'm not saying I'm Pep or Maradona or, I haven't been in the football world, but I know the difference between a good signing in a position you need and potentially an overpriced signing in a position that doesn't really need attending to right now or doesn't, it's crazy. We sell Martinez for 17 mil. We bring in Runnison for 1 mil. We buy Ramsdale for 24 mil, plus 6 mil in add-ons. Send Runnison back to wherever we're going to send him to. Okonkwo becomes third choice keeper. We signed Saliba in 2019. In 2021, he's going out on loan again. Ben White's coming in at 50 mil. Ben White's taking his number. We're expected to believe Saliba's going to come back and be happy with anything to do with Arsenal. And I'm expected to be positive. It's very hard. It's very hard. Joe said, why would Kroenke spend his own money if it's going to be spunk? Well, my guy, if he thinks it's going to be wasted, then why has he left these people in charge? Scarfuggery. Cage's got an issue to raise with you. Yeah, if he thinks the money's going to get wasted, why you got people in charge? Come on. Is the protest organized enough? Is it organized? It depends what you think, like what you mean by organized enough. I think there's enough base behind it online over the past week. The next couple of days will say a lot for it. But I don't know if Arsenal protests are ever really organised well, or not the big ones anyway. I wouldn't even say the Arsenal-Everton one was organised well, because at protests, usually you'd want speakers, you'd want, some direction. And as much as, the Everton one was massive, it had numbers, it had volume, there was a lack of, direction and speakers and people to break it up a bit in terms of why we're there, who we're there for, and getting that side of things out there. It's all good and well seeing flares, smoke and signs, but it's also good, hearing prominent Arsenal fans speaking about the problem. And there can be those, people at future protests. I don't think it's happening this Sunday. I think this one's going to be more about the energy and the voice and the volume and the banners and whatnot. But I think in terms of what I think a good organized protest is, there's a lot of facets to it, which makes it hard. It makes it hard, but we are at a point that I didn't think would be at, starting a season showing our distress, if we can put it like that. Ali back again, regardless of any further signings, as long as Xhaka is our first team central midfielder, this window will be a flop. This window. I saw someone say 2 at, what's this one? AJ said, read my comment, truth of Oba, with the Turkish flag. Go to 24 minutes 50 seconds on Yanamai's video with the orange Lambo in the thumbnail. He said Oba's son's birthday on Friday and Oba missed a game to get a new Lambo to impress his son. 24 minutes 50. I don't know. I'll remember that for after the show. I'll do my own thing on that. But yeah, I don't know too much about that right now. Big up Skullfuggery in the building. Feels like a little while since I've said that. Momentum has been lost massively since the Super League protest, in my opinion. It's going to take some serious organization to surpass that. Yeah, and I think part of the serious organization is getting the right voices involved and, unified and aligned. And, if a protest comes about, who's organized it. As much as we kind of can point to someone on Insta, someone on Twitter in regards to this protest. Like I said, I found that from @Kroenke on Insta, @Kroenke on Twitter. That's how I found out. But I know there's other people found out in different ways. There was one going for 3:30 p.m. There was one so I don't know. What I do know is if in reality, let's say you have 6 different people in the Arsenal fan base community, well known, that come out, same similar timing, saying this Sunday or this Saturday or whenever it is, we need to do this and we need to do this in that way. Hopefully that gets traction. And not only can you use that one voice for protesting, you can also use it for today we walk out of the stadium in the 60th minute, in the 10th minute, in the 70th, whatever it is. You then have a platform where that one voice can try and dictate to a lot of people to do something, whether it's walk out of a stadium, whether it's not buying merchandise, whether it's switching off the channel at a certain time when they're playing, whether it's unfollowing the club on social media. And, you know, when you do things unified, it has a bigger impact than if you do things in the, like, you know, in your own time, in your own way. So I don't know how I got into that, but yeah, how do I always get into Kroenke? Because, you know, it's at the forefront of my mind anytime I think about Arsenal. Maybe I need to, you know, push it to the back for a bit, but right now it is what it is. AFTV's one, 100%. AFTV would be one. I think AFTV have probably the widest reach in terms of scope and fan base and whatnot. It's hard to really judge when there are a lot of people that subscribe to the channel that don't support Arsenal. So it's hard to judge, but in terms of reaching out to the majority, I'd say AFTV stand in the best position there. But then you've also got other credible groups and organizations like AST and some of the other ones over the years that have tried and done things to, you know, Usmanov, Wenger, Kroenke, whatever. With you know, it needs people from them as well, because at the end of the day, there's too much infighting. You know, right now, certain groups don't like certain groups, and certain groups won't do anything with certain groups because of the, you know, because of whatever differences. I say right now, it's been the problem for a long time, but you know, it's fucked. Have a big idea relating to all this, which you might be feeling. I'll WhatsApp it later on. Make sure you do, my bro. Make sure you do. I messaged you earlier. My apologies for being late as well, Scarfuggery, on that. It's been a hectic few days. Even if you check my channel, this is my 4th video in 3 days. It's all mad. But come on, look at the support. 1.5k here at 11 p.m. How many likes are we on? Oh, it's 650 likes. You know, I'm not happy with the like count right now, but 650 likes. Man are saying I'm missing their super chat. Let me see what super chats I've missed. Where are we? Right. Well, I see one here that... Wait, did this one just pop up? There needs to be a proper message at the protest and not just Kroenke out or Arteta out. We need someone to be a vocal point. That's fair. That's fair. Let me bring it back to the mainstream. Why didn't that come up on the screen now? I don't get it. What's going on here? Oh, here we are. Sometimes this chat moves mad. All right, here we are. Apologies for that. But yeah, GB Tech UK. Yeah. So what does it say? There needs to be a proper... Okay, 100% agree with you on this. 100%. I don't know if someone can be the vocal point or maybe a group of people. A lot of people do suggest me. I divide too much opinion. I've seen it. You know, I've kind of tested the waters in that sense, and I've said this before, you know. But that's why I feel like not only do I divide a lot of opinion, so do the other prominent members in the Arsenal fan base. And I'm not just talking AFTV there, I'm talking AST, Red Action, We Care Do You, or, you know, the other groups and organizations. So I feel like a group of people is required, you know, one voice from each, unified, aligned to lead and include voices, you know, like, you know, what's that guy that used to work in the House of Commons and used to do the whole gavel thing, hammer thing, here, like people be quiet and all of that, with Boris Johnson and them man in the, whoever he is, he supports Arsenal. You know, people like that coming to speak on the day and whatnot. I got to laugh at my description of that guy. What's his name? Burko. Something Burko. Ian Wright. Someone just said Ian Wright. That would be another brilliant one. You know, just people like in the public eye that are different. that are known by different people, have a different voice, have a different platform. John Burko, that's it. Order, that's it. Man said here, like it's a courtroom. Is that? I don't know what it is, but yeah, Judge Burko, that's it. Corbyn's another Arsenal fan. You know, there's people out there. There's Chip. There's I don't know how much Chip would work at them kind of things, but just, you know, different sorts of people in different sorts of environments, organized by a set collective of Arsenal fans that, you know, are part of different platforms and have a voice amongst the fan base. Hasn't been tried, but hopefully one day it will be. We spent 130 mil, but we've barely improved. No right back, says A. B. Big up AB. I'm not sure if you've been here for the whole video, but yeah, I think pretty much we all agree with that. Speaker of the House, that's what he is. Yeah, Speaker of that House over there, House of Commons. Man said, I want to go protest. Do I need a ticket? You don't need a ticket to protest, my guy. Piers Morgan's a bit of a mad one, man. Piers Morgan's a mad one still. You know, like, as much as on the few occasions when he's arguing for things that you might, you know, be on his side about, he seems cool. Far too often he says things out of line, he does things out of line, and he is very ignorant and arrogant with the way he goes about in delivering his opinions. So yeah. Jamal says, lit show Turkish, my guy. Great to see you do more streams. Love Jamal, man. Love to see a lot of familiar faces back here as well. So obviously I will continue doing fellow streams. Big 6, 10 p.m. tomorrow. Match preview for Chelsea. I might do that 1 p.m. on Saturday, maybe 12 in the afternoon, 12 or 1. Look out for that on Saturday, you know. And then on Sunday, AFTV match day. I'll be there all day, so you can tune in there if you need, or you can tune into the other platforms that are doing their thing. But we're over an hour in, people. That's it. We're gonna call. Cool. Jared, you beat me to the buzzer. Hey, mate. Hope you're well. Completely disgusted in Ramsdale signing. Jared, another one of the topics we have talked about in this live stream. I think a lot of us are underwhelmed. Once again, I will reiterate, there is no reason whatsoever why Ramsdale should be abused online, why he's had to limit his comments on Instagram. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I don't know why fans are doing this. Like, it's not his fault that the club is moving in the wrong way. It's not his fault we're going to spend that much money on him, you know. And this might be rich coming from someone who has, you know, put a lot of players out to dry in terms of my comments on them. They've done things at this club over the demise of it that has led me down that route. New signings have nothing to do with this. And at the same time, when I'm upset or vexed, I try to, you know, give my opinion in a articulate way. You know, yes, when I first appeared on people's screens, I was a bit more aggressive and a bit more reckless with my thoughts and opinions. But over time, you realize, you learn, and you develop in the way you can deliver stuff. And some of the Ramsdale shit I've been seeing, it's not needed. It's nonsense. Stop that. It's not a good look on the fan base. And it's not his fault. If anyone deserves anything like that, if anyone deserves the frustration and anger that Arsenal FC are causing right now, it's Stan Kroenke. It's KSC. You know, attack their social media accounts, not abusively. You know, send a message. Their sponsors, send a message. There's a lot of different ways to send messages, but abusing Ramsdale and abusing any other player that's potentially linked to the club or coming in is nonsense. Just remember, it's the club doing this madness that is the reason for it all. Where are we? You say it as it is. Thank you, Natural, my guy. The people abusing Ramsdale are the same sort of people who abuse soap stars in real life as if they're actual characters. Absolute idiots. 100%. 100%. Where are we? No aftermatch. Yeah, of course you're going to get an aftermatch reaction. Should I do that in the evening on Sunday, or should I do that early on Monday? Evening Sunday. Should I do a late night evening stream on Sunday? Yeah, I'll do it. All right, cool. 10 p.m. Big 6 tomorrow. 1 p.m. Saturday Chelsea match preview. 10, maybe 11 p.m. Sunday night, you'll get the match review as well on top of that. And then you know what happens on Monday, back to Big Six, and then we keep it moving. Last week of the transfer window, heading into bank holiday weekend. It's a shame there's no carnival, but, you know, it's still a bank holiday. We do what we do. Come on, Lee Judges TV in the building. Lee Judges TV in the building. Love for the love, Lee. As always, you know what it is. You know, more content has to come from us this season, but then again, I say that and then things don't happen. It needs to happen with me and Lee. It should have happened a long time ago, but, you know, it makes sense now. We've both got our channels. We've both got our platforms. Let's put our heads together, you know, and make it happen. Big up Lee Judges TV, though. I love the work being done on that channel. The guests, the studio, you know, big up Dave in the background as well over there doing his thing. Big up Dan doing his thing. Love to Dan for News Daily on Wednesday. Me and him just for an hour chopped it up about Arsenal Football Club, and it was a very good one, to say the least. Real Recognize Real, that needs to come back this season sometime. There's so many things that need to come back. There's so many things that need to come back that haven't come back yet. You know, so many. And they will. They will. Just give me time, people. Remember, I've had a little one too. Remember, that is the priority in my life. Slowly but surely, you'll get more of these. Until then, until tomorrow, 10 p.m., unless a madness happens in the day tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. How many likes we're on? We're on 790 likes, only 210 away from 1,000. I'm going to hit the outro button now. Who knows? By the end of the show, we might get to 1,000. If we don't, we don't. We keep it moving. Tomorrow, 10 p.m., Big Six. See you then, people. Love for the love.